Hey guys, what's up? This is GRIFFITH.com. We've had a really good response from all of the fitness training videos we've been doing, and I've had a lot of guys asking me about diet. So with your diet, this is something that's very broad. Every body type, everyone has a different metabolism, age, you name it. There's gonna be a lot of variables. There's really no way for me to write out a cookie cutter diet and give you guys a plan that's gonna work specifically for you. What I thought would be the best idea was to share my diet, what I eat, when I eat it, how I prepare it, give you guys some very general basic tips, and then what you're gonna have to do, even though it's hard, is you're gonna have to experiment with your own body, with your own diet, find out which foods you like, which ones you don't, and basically develop a plan that works for yourself. The bottom line is, every time you make a change, you're gonna improve, and improvement leads to results. So don't give up, it's a long haul, it's a lifestyle. Do not follow this program or do what I'm doing, anything, if you plan on quitting in 2 months. That's not how it is. You have to clear your mind, straighten it out to a point where you're saying, this is a change I'm gonna make forever. I don't see the point of sacrificing for a couple months just to gain it all back. Make these changes, make them part of you. You'll be a lot happier in the long run. So the nutrition basics I wanna cover, there's just a couple. The first one is drink a ton of water. Water is great for flushing your system. It helps purify your body. You need water. If you're exercising, sweating, you're going to be losing a lot. You need to put it back. But another thing water does when you're cutting calories or dieting is it helps you to stay full. Anytime someone's hungry and they're not in one of their regimented meal times, I recommend just to drink a big glass of water and go back to work. It's amazing how water can settle your stomach, satisfy your hunger, and help you move on. Drink a gallon a day minimum. Most big guys up to 200 pounds, if you're exercising and running, 2 gallons a day, no problem. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to help flush your system. It's going to benefit you in the long run. So just get used to drinking water. Second part of your diet is you've got to learn to plan your meals and eat small meals throughout the day. A lot of you have already heard this. It's very straightforward. 6 to 7 meals. You need to plan them the night before or you're never going to stick with this. If you expect to just wake up and get everything ready real quick on your way out the door, you're always going to miss, and then you're going to end up cheating or breaking your plan during the day. Portion out your meals the night before, plan them throughout the day, carry a cooler. That way when it's time to eat, you have it there, ready, eat it, and move on. You got to start looking at food as a fuel as opposed to a way to celebrate or an emotional thing. Your body needs fuel, give it just enough to perform, and that's all you need. So I recommend, to look like a total meathead, you carry a gallon around everywhere you go. If you have your water with you, you're not going to not drink it. So I use these big purified water bottles and just refill them out of my sink. What I like to do with water, because I don't like to just drink water, is I drink an amino acid. This is called Extend. You can buy it at bodybuilding.com. It averages out 30-40 cents a serving, but I do 1 scoop per gallon and I drink it throughout the day. What's cool about this amino acid blend is obviously amino acids are the building blocks of protein, so your body can synthesize protein by using these. The other thing this has in it is electrolytes, kind of like Gatorade, but it doesn't have sugar or any calories in it. So it gives it a light flavor. This is a lemon lime. Flavors your water, gives you the amino acids, gives you the essential nutrients and electrolytes that you need. If you put that in your drink, you'll be drinking a gallon of water without even noticing, because it tastes a lot like a Crystal Light or something like that. So that's the first thing, just start drinking that, aminos and water. I recommend that you do cardio in the mornings. Wake up out of bed, drink a big glass of water, and go do a light cardio, moderate exercise where your heart rate is up. The ranges, you're gonna have to Google them for your age and weight and height and everything like that, but you wanna stay in a fat burning zone. Typically for me, that's just enough that I'm a little bit short of breath when talking. I'm not sweating like crazy. I'm not on my hands and knees begging for air. It's just a simple, get your heart rate up and maintain it. 40 minutes is a great amount. You can do it watching TV on your treadmill. You can do it jump roping, doing jumping jacks. Just 40 minutes a morning. I would recommend 4 to 5 days a week to get your metabolism going, get cranking. Once you're done with your cardio, then I recommend you eat a post-workout meal, and a lot of different supplements are out there, but I found one that's very simple, easy to buy, and tastes really good. They're the Cliff Builder bars. I carry these on the mountain too. These are different than a regular Cliff bar because these have an extra amount of protein in them. There's 30 grams of carbohydrates, 20 grams of protein, and about 7 grams of fat, so I think they're about 300 calories. These are great for post-workout because they have a lot of vitamins and nutrients, but also the right balance of calories to kind of fuel your body through recovery. I eat one of these after my morning cardio session. I also eat one right after my workout. I recommend the mint ones or the chocolate chip, peanut butter chocolate ones. Those are my two favorites, but there's like 4 or 5 different flavors. Normally I don't eat a lot of bars or protein powders. I try to keep everything natural, like meats, lean protein, chicken breast, egg whites, animal meat, you know, the sirloin, the back straps, lean as possible. But sometimes you're in a hurry, you don't have a meal plan, you're not ready. So there are bars out there that I recommend you eat when you need them. It shouldn't be a staple, but you know, a couple, 3-4 days a week. These are the pure protein bars. They're really good. They're low carbohydrate, high protein, low fat. I usually eat 2 at once to make a meal. It's about 40 grams of protein. Flavor wise, they're the best that I know of. You can get them at Walmart. Same with the Cliff bars. They're only like $6 a box. They're like $1 a piece. So pretty cheap, inexpensive way to do it. Just to have those as like a backup plan. Throw those in the cooler for emergencies if you don't have a meal or if you're not sure, you know, how your meals are going to work out. Again, you have to plan this stuff in advance, so these are a good filler for when the plan falls through. Okay, so you hear there's the building blocks of calories. There's proteins, carbs, and fats. For losing weight, you're going to hear a lot of different moderations of this, but I personally like a low carbohydrate, high protein, medium fat intake diet. My carbohydrates, I try to keep under 1 gram per pound of body if I'm trying to cut. And I weigh about 210 pounds, so that's 200 grams of carbohydrates a day. The Cliff bars that I talked about earlier, they're 30 each, so they're 60, so I have 140 grams left for my day. I love the Kashi cereals. The #1 reason why is I'm really busy. I can measure these out. They come in, you know, 1 cup portions, or about what, 35 grams of carbohydrates. So I get 4 cups of this a day. I'll put it into a Ziploc bag and I can carry that with me and eat it whenever I need to. Most importantly, a big amount before my workout to kind of fuel me through that. But just remember that carbohydrates fuel your body, the movements, metabolism, all those things. But the protein is where you're gonna recover and grow. So this is, you take in just enough to fuel you. The protein is where you step it up. And any excess protein your body consumes, it will convert into sugar, which is basically a carbohydrate anyways. But to just keep it simple, try to keep your carbohydrate intake under 1 gram per pound of body weight. So I get a lot of crap about all the time how I love chicken. I do love chicken, but I've also found that a chicken breast is a perfect portion protein pack that I can cook, put in a Ziploc bag, store, and take throughout the day. When I'm hunting, I usually eat about 8 chicken breasts a day to get my protein. An average protein amount per chicken breast is about 50 to 60 grams, depending on how big they are. But if you're eating 8 or 9, that's 480 to 500 grams of protein, which times 4 calories per gram, you're looking at 2,000 calories. So protein, or chicken breasts are a great source. They're dense, they're easy to pack, like I said. The best deal I always find on them are the ones at Walmart. They just come in a sleeve. It's always $1.99 a pound, and it's always there. And it usually comes with 8 or 9 of them. Before I eat the chicken, obviously I trim it, cut all the excess fat off, any wastage I don't need. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Spray down your cookie sheet with the fat-free spray like Pam or whatever. And then put the chicken in there once the oven is heated at 350. I usually leave it in for an hour. I recommend using this Mrs. Dash salt-free seasonings. There's a whole bunch of really good ones. A chipotle one, there's a chili one, chili lime, that's really good. Those are just a great way to season it. You want to keep the salt down, so it's a great solution to not having to use salt to season your meat. But after an hour, let these things cool off, and then I'll put them individually into Ziploc bags and pack them around through the day. Like I said before, my diet is very specific, but I recommend you have 1 portion of protein with every meal. So if you're eating 6 meals a day, you're going to want to have a chicken breast or a bar or eggs or whatever to supplement or to match each of those meals. So 6 major servings. If you're a high intensity athlete, you're training in the morning, training at night, you could definitely bump that up, and you'll know because you'll be hungry and you'll be weak. If your body's going to tell you you're under eating, you're overeating, you just have to respond and adjust accordingly. So every morning for breakfast, I like to have eggs. You probably heard with an egg, typically there's 2 parts. There's the yolk and then there's the white. The yolk is all fat, the white is all protein. Separate the 2, eat the whites, throw the yolks away. You don't need the fat. Even though it's a healthy fat, if you're trying to diet, you're going to get fat from so many other sources you're not trying to, that you don't need to add it to anything. So if you can remove it every chance you can, take advantage of that. I eat a dozen eggs a morning, which seems like a lot, but when you take the protein and you separate the whites from the yolks, you're only looking at about 5 or 6 grams of protein per egg. So if you eat 12 of them, you're looking at 50, 60, 70 grams of protein per serving, which is not that much if you're a big eater like I am. So typically just saute it in a pan with ham or mushrooms, just the egg whites, just make scrambled eggs, put some salsa on them, easy breakfast, fills you up. That's usually all I eat in the mornings. Okay, so throughout the day I've been eating all these, Ziploc bags of chicken and bars and stuff. At night I try to have at least 1 good servings of greens. And when I say greens, I mean leafy greens like broccoli, cabbage, lettuce. Just greens tend to have lower calories, higher fiber. They have a lot of nutrients and iron and things that you need them. But they're just a good way to fill you up without a lot of calories, especially broccoli. Broccoli's a really good go-to green. You can pretty much eat as much as you want of it. Just don't put butter on it, don't salt it, just eat it plain, steam it. Salad dressing, stuff like that, that's got a lot of calories and it's kind of defeating the purpose. So you got to learn to love greens if you're going to be on a diet. If you don't like them, you don't have to eat them, but I recommend them. And also at night, always have another portion of lean meat, whether it's lean salmon, fish, deer, elk, steak, chicken breast, turkey. Just make sure it's the leanest you can, drain the excess fat off of it, and eat that. So I appreciate your time. I hope this answered some questions on dieting, maybe gave you some ideas on how to prepare your food and get it going that way. If you have more questions or anything specific, you can always go to zachgriffith.com. It's all about training, hunting, and filming, and obviously nutrition is a huge essential part of that. So appreciate your time. Stay tuned.